So yours truly, Mr. Blue Guy, recently had an interaction with MrGirl where I had the privilege of experiencing the gaslighting firsthand. This Weasley little motherfucker sure does love to gaslight.
Next caller. What's up?
Max Carson, bad parson, that darkness.
Right.
My contention is that there is nothing wrong with sexting Anna while she's talking about she's crazy on stream. I think that Anna can both be a crazy stalker, and he can still talk to her if she won't leave him alone. And that if she's going to come and continuously go on stream and talk about...
Before you say there's nothing wrong with it, are you interested in contending with any of the arguments people have made about why it's wrong, or you're just going to say it's not wrong and then describe the situation?
If you'll notice, he doesn't actually have any arguments for why it's wrong. That's why he's asking me to contend with imaginary arguments that don't exist. He states that it's wrong. Well, you can't sex with her and then go on stream and talk about she's a crazy abuser, yet he has no arguments for why you can't do that. Evidenced by the fact that he will bring up zero. I just don't think that there have been any sufficient arguments for why it's wrong.
Are you gonna push back against any of them, or
are you gonna bring up any, or I would just say that
they're wrong.
I would say that I don't think you should give... I would say that she's an abuser, and I don't think that you should give her moral consideration if she's going to continuously slander him and demand his attention. So at this point, I have to ask myself, why does he refuse to bring up any arguments? And the conclusion that I came to in that moment was, he has none. So I just opted to move forward with the assumption that, okay, let's say it's wrong. Let's say it's wrong in a vacuum. What are some mitigating factors?
Would it be okay if somebody slanders you? Is it okay to rape them at knife point?
So some people would take issue with the fact that it was a quote-unquote absurd hypothetical. I'm fine with this. The purpose of a hypothetical is to test the logic of an argument. If my logic doesn't hold up in extreme cases, then my logic's not very good. What I do take issue with, however, is the fact that this is an attempt to divert from the actual issue. What he wants to do is he wants to run me down a dialogue tree where he wants me to answer yes or no to every question. The thing that he very specifically hates, Mr. Nuance, and I think it's part of a larger strategy because he wants me to get kicked, because I don't think he can contend with any of these arguments. He's almost obligated to do a stream on this. But he isn't obligated to do it in good faith. I think that there is a proportional... No. Notice how in the middle of actually answering his question, I just give up because I realize he's going to do the MrGirl thing in an attempt to divert from the actual subject and to waste as much time as possible. I just give up answering his question before he even speaks up in the middle of it to say no. Because I know he doesn't actually care what I think, and I know he isn't interested in actually exploring the topic. But notice how he interrupts me to ask the same question again anyways, after I directly say no multiple times. Because I know exactly what he's doing and what his tactic's going to be. I think that there is a proportional... No.
Yes or no? If somebody slanders you, is it okay to rape them at knife point? Okay, so slanderers do get moral consideration in your value system.
Yes.
Okay, so can you explain why in this situation Anna doesn't get moral consideration from you?
I think that there are levels of moral consideration. So I think that if someone is consistent, every time you see them, they insult you, they're rude to you and dismissive of you, I think it's okay to insult that person. I think it's okay to assault that person. Where I would also say that, I guess it's fine to insult people if you want to. I think it's, in context, one neutral. I just think that there are some actions that you can engage in that are not justified if someone's not aggressing on you, but are justified if they are aggressing on you.
Okay, so you think that what he's doing is unethical, but it's okay because she did something unethical first?
I don't think that there's anything unethical about sexting. And I also don't think there's anything unethical about talking about how someone's crazy on stream if they are like they are doing unhinged crazy things too.
So her not getting moral consideration doesn't matter because you don't think he's doing anything immoral in the first place.
It's almost like the only reason we're going down this line of argumentation at all is because you refuse to provide any arguments for why it is immoral. No.
Well, so I guess we didn't need to talk about whether she gets moral consideration. My hypothetical about the knife point thing was just completely pointless because you don't think he's doing anything even morally gray? Everything is fine. Is everything fine?
I think that she's an adult and she can handle sexual contact, and I think it's very infantilizing to say that she can't.
And so I am sexist.
So notice how he takes the phrase, I think she's an adult and she can handle sexual contact, and to say she can't is infantilizing, and he reframes that as me saying that he's sexist. I'm in awe of this man's brilliance. How could I not think of such a thing? How am I so fucking stupid? Well, you are I'm sexist too, don't worry. We can be sexist together.
Okay.
Oh, lovely.
But you're saying I have a sexist belief if I'm saying that this situation is sexually unethical because I'm taking away her agency.
God, it's so fucking cute the way he tries to make it seem like that's what I said. I think it's very infantilizing, yes.
Okay. Well,
and yeah, I would say you're taking away her agency.
That was a big turn from she gets no moral consideration from her bad behavior to I'm sexist for even thinking that there might be something unethical or that there is something unethical unfolding before us.
So there I double down. It's infantilizing. Notice how I don't agree with his framing that it's sexist, but he wants to pretend that I did anyways because it's more convenient for him. And then he tries to make it seem like my two positions are somehow contradictory, or that I somehow walked it back. It's really fucking weird. Like, I started off arguing that because of the actions that she's partaking in, she's not worthy of a certain level of moral consideration. And then I also said what he's doing is not wrong, even assuming that what he's doing is morally wrong in a vacuum, and then I make it perfectly clear that I also don't think that what he's doing is morally wrong, as I said at the top of the conversation, but I didn't approach that subject because he was unwilling to have that talk because he had no reasons for why it was morally wrong. I hold both of those positions, yeah.
Okay. I don't really want to talk about this anymore.
And I consider this a victory. I think he realized that he couldn't play stupid fucking games with me and run away from the actual issue, and that his reframing was not going to work on me. So I think he just completely abandoned that because he realized he had no arguments for why it was actually fucking wrong, and he knew I wasn't going to play his stupid fucking games and get him to run around in circles, or frame my positions as disparate, or as me somehow walking it back. So if you want to catch our next conversation, I encourage you to subscribe, where he does the same shit plus more, but I think I've sufficiently proved that not only did he reframe my position as something I wasn't saying, he tried to make it look like I walked it back when my positions were very clearly two distinct positions that could be held at the same time. He refused to engage with any arguments for what he actually believes, and in the next part he's going to do the famous MrGirl tactic of accusing me of changing the subject. All of this plus more next time.